All right, so I'm getting started with the base of the dessert or the cookie crumble. So into the bowl is going my almond flour. Now I made my own almond flour just with a bag of organic almonds, and you'll find it's a lot more economical than purchasing the almond flour by itself. I think they want about $13 or $15, depending on where you pick it up from, for a bag of almond flour, and it usually only has about 2, maybe 4 cups in there. So it's just easier to go ahead and make your own and put it in your high-speed blender. All right, and so I'm getting my 2 cups in here. All right, and to this is going our coconut oil, agave nectar, and vanilla extract. All right, let me just go in a bit closer. I'm going closer. Here it is. I have my agave nectar. And you want to make sure all of your ingredients for this dessert, especially the pudding layer as well as the cream layer, are at room temperature. If they're not at room temperature, coconut oil is going to do what it does naturally, which is solidify. And so then you're going to have a dessert with small pieces of solid coconut oil. All right, so we got our agave nectar in there. We go ahead with our coconut oil. There's equal parts, half a cup to a half a cup. Vanilla extract. And then finally, we have a bit of sea salt. Give me 1 second. I forgot my salt. All right, so I got my salt. Okay. Moving around. And I'm just going to go ahead and mix this up. All right, and the remaining of my 2 cups. I added 2 cups to the bowl. This is the other half cup. That's all of my flour, or my almond flour. And you can see what it looks like here. Thick, a bit pasty, I guess. Maybe not pasty, but definitely a thick almond mixture. I'm gonna give it a quick taste. And keep in mind, as soon as this cools off, it's gonna solidify. Tastes great. All right, we're gonna set that aside and make our next layer, which is, oh, actually, why not? My mistake. We're gonna go ahead and lay down partial of our base here. And you'll see that because I did make my own almond flour, it is fairly thick and coarse, and it's not as crumbly as it would have been with a finer ground like this one. This is almond flour. You can see that. And this is a finer ground almond flour. So you'll see your mix will come together a lot easier when you use the finer almond flour, and you can achieve that in your blender. It just takes longer. I have a Ninja blender, and it's not as good as the Vitamix, where you can make your nut flours inside of that, or even a Ninja food processor. That one works just as well. So don't fret, don't worry. We're doing good. Go ahead and get your dessert dish. And we're just gonna put half of our mixture right inside and just press it down to the bottom. This is the base. And you're not looking for anything fancy. This is going to be layered, covered in bananas. So this is going to add really awesome texture to your pudding, just like essentially the cookies do. I was just going to press that out. And sorry about the background noise. That is the dishwasher that is going off and making the fuss in the background. All right, so that's half our mixture and the base. We're going to take this and pop this in the refrigerator as we prepare our next layer. All right. So I have my cashews here, and I saved the soaking liquid from the cashews. I'm going to add that to the container, but I overfilled my container, so I just want to spoon a little bit off top first. Cashews in. And then you're going to use that same soaking liquid right inside with the cashews, so they're nice and softened. And to make sure that even your cashews aren't cold, because your cashews contain a lot of fat and your mix won't blend smoothly if your cashews are cold. They will have small little granules, or your mixture will have small little cashew granules. So pop everything into your dehydrator or just into a warm spot in your house, and make sure everything is at least at about 78, 79 degrees, and you're good to go. That's our soaking liquid there. Right, you got just about another half cup to add, because it's a total of 1.5 cups of water. I have our vanilla extract. A runaway cashew. Lemon juice. And lemon juice is for the flavor. It adds an acidity to your mix that really essentially brightens it up. So it's not just one note. All right. And cream cheese, as we formally know it, if you are vegan, has a acidity to it as well, which is why we add in lemon juice to kind of mimic that. And I'm just going to add in a little sprinkle of salt and the remainder of the water. And that is another half cup. All right. And we're just going to blend this until it's nice and smooth. My blender ready to go. I see it over here. All right, I think that's going to be good. But double check, of course, to make sure it's smooth here. Give it a taste. Ready to go. All right, so actually I'm going to give it just another little bit of a blend. I feel like it could be a little bit more smoother. Blend that one more time. On high. All right, we're going to call it. Let me grab the base and then we're going to come back and start to layer. Okay, so here we are with the base here. I only had it in the refrigerator for a little bit, but you can see it's I can touch it. It's already solidified because again, coconut oil, that's what it does. I can even probably pop it out here. And you see you got like your crumbles there. So you can see what that looks like. All right, I'm gonna put that back where it belongs over there. All right, and that off. I have my bananas. Now I'm gonna add a little bit of our quote unquote pudding layer at the base here. Not much, just enough to kind of have a little pool for the bananas, so to say. Okay, and then we're just gonna put our bananas on there. I think I'll just push that over just a little bit more. Just make sure it's nice and smooth, like so. And now we go ahead and add our bananas. lost a few. That's why you always sanitize your countertop or your workspace before you get going. Because if you drop it, you know it's okay to use. Come on. This one's sliding around. Oh, I'm going to put it in here. There it is. Some pre-dropped ones. Some more going. My final banana. Now you can add more or less according to your preference, but one layer is good for me. Just one full layer of bananas is what I like to go for. And this recipe is versatile as well. You can switch it out and use some fresh strawberries, fresh peaches. You just want to make sure it's not a fruit that's going to release water inside of your dessert. So with the fresh strawberries, just cut them nice and thin ahead of time. And that should be good. All right, so we're going to add all that, and that is that layer for our bananas. And now the rest of our quote unquote pudding, just going to pour it right over the bananas. Like so. Go ahead and get you a rubber spatula and get all that goodness out of your blender attachment. Scrape it right inside. Like so. And I'm just going to kind of wiggle this a bit, give it a wiggle and a jiggle. Make sure everything's nice and submerged. Have some left on our blender attachment and get that off. All right, and so this is going into the freezer while we prepare our last layer. Pop this into the freezer. All right, so that's what that looks like. Let me go and pop this into the freezer, and then we'll make our quote unquote our whipped cream, basically, the coconut cream. All right, so that's squared away. That's in the refrigerator. And in my cup here, I have my agave nectar. I'm going to add to this my vanilla extract. As well as my coconut oil. And we're going with a 1/3 cup of coconut oil. And finally, our coconut cream. Mine is on a bit of the chunkier side, but this is room temperature. This is ready to go. And because the coconut cream and the coconut oil is not as dense as the cashews, as soon as this is done getting blended, whipped up, it's ready to pour on top, even if your dessert isn't fully set up because of the density of your coconut cream here. All right, and so we're gonna go ahead and cover that up. Oh, a pinch of sea salt. Cover this up and blend. All right. Sorry about that. Angle went weird. All right. Go ahead and give that a quick taste. It's good. And this is ready to go on top of the rest of our banana. I'm sorry, my mind just went blank. On top of the banana pudding. I'm going to grab that out of the freezer and we're going to top it with more crumble before we add this. Now, there is two ways that you can do this. That's part of the reason why my mind went blank, because I was thinking about another way you could do this instead of just pouring it over top. You can take this mixture and allow it to cool and spoon it on top, but that's going to be to preference. All right, so this is basically ready to go. I'm going to go and grab the rest of the dessert. Okay. And here is the rest of our crumble here. All right. Sorry about that. I had to grab a little utensil because as you can see, this is not soft at all. You will need something to help you break it up, or at least help you get going on breaking it up. So as you can see, you do have your crumble pieces here, or your cookie crumble. Break that up a little bit more. And then we are going to top our dessert. And if you are a huge banana fan, you can go ahead. This is the perfect time to add another layer of bananas. And then you can top it with the crumble, followed by the coconut cream. All right. Like so. I'm going to go ahead and top it. Put some more of the crumble here. And I do have the one with the chia pudding, the recipe with the chia pudding layered in jars. That one is pre-recorded. So I will be uploading that one next. More than likely, you will be viewing this one first. So you can look forward to seeing that one, just in case you are wanting to try that recipe instead. All right. Get that on top. And finally is going to be the coconut cream layer. I'm actually gonna pop this back into the fridge for a second and kind of clean up my workspace. And then I'm gonna finish it off. So I will be right back. All right, so we're just gonna finish off the dessert. You'll be able to see once it's set up the different layers in here, and you cut it, you'll see your banana layer, your bottom cookie layer, and the top cookie layer, and then your cream layer. All right, so we're just gonna pour this right over top. Just gently like so. And again, if you wanted more bananas, absolutely add them, but I am good on those. And you can look forward to what it looks like tomorrow when I pull it from the freezer or the refrigerator. I'm gonna pull it from the freezer in a few hours, and I'll put it in the refrigerator and I'll show you what it looks like. That's it.